Welcome back everyone to our channel. Today we're going to go through some childhood memories down memory lane. I think it's kind of interesting to see, we have two very different cultures.
Yes.
Okay, Dan wanted to have a fancy entrance today. So we're going to kind of share some stories from our childhood. Mainly today it's just going to be about adventures that we went on or kind of funny things we did as kids.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Yeah. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us one of your stories.
I have so many funny stories.
Okay, tell them.
Yeah. Which one should I start with? Anyway, when I was in primary school, I don't know how you call it there abroad.
Yeah, we call it primary school.
Oh, primary school. When I was in primary school, we used to organize fights every Friday. So if you had a beef or a grudge with someone, you say, okay, we'll see each other on Friday. So on Friday, we will know that there will be a fight on Friday. That fight will be after classes. There is something we call preps. Preps is when you have your free time to study.
So like a study hall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but inside our classes, each class too, within its own class.
Mm-hmm.
So the teachers will not come around that time. So that's when we could start the war.
You'd have fights on school property.
Inside the class,
Okay.
all we did was to close the windows and to close the door, because we know the teacher will not come at that time.
Really?
Yeah.
What were the teachers doing during that
The
time?
teachers, they were in staff room doing marking or doing other things.
Just talking.
Yeah.
Probably.
So we knew that they won't come allowed.
Wow.
So we used to organize fights on Fridays, every Friday. So if you had a grudge with someone or a beef with someone, you tell him or her, they see each other on Friday. Yeah.
Okay.
And one day it happened.
Hmm.
There was one fight one day on Friday as usual. Then that fight, it went on and on. People went home. We didn't know that it was time to go home. So all the school went home, but our class was left. So when we came out, we found that other people went home.
And the teachers didn't
Because it
check.
was very interesting. No one was checking.
The
We
teacher-
just check if the teacher is coming or not. If you see the teacher is not coming, just continue what. So
Wow.
there was someone who was peeping in a hole to check if the teachers are coming or not.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, only that what we cared. We didn't care about the rest now. Because the other students, they won't come and say anything because we were in the upper classes, you understand? So the others, just...
So this was like you were in 6th, 7th, 8th, that kind of
No,
age?
I was in
Oh.
class 7, class 8.
Okay.
7, class 8.
So you were like the big kids.
Yeah, we were big kids that
Okay.
time. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that would not fly in the U.S. I'm pretty sure you have to have a teacher supervising. You can't. So that's a big difference. We wouldn't be able to have Fight Club.
Yeah, for
In
us,
school.
we used to have that. We used to have that for
Wow.
sure. Every Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So changing things to a very less
Or sometimes
intense.
or sometimes you say, I will close with you. So when you are crossing the school, after every time you have to close. So we used to say that, okay, I will close with you. So that means the day of closing, there must be a fight.
Wow.
If
So
we had a beef.
do you think having the fight kind of reduced tensions because it was like a physical way to get it out, according to you?
Yeah, it reduced tension between the kids because that time, you know who not to mess with and who to mess with. Yeah, then
Okay.
yeah, there was such things and it was so interesting, I would say.
That's very interesting. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, and it makes you to be hard a little bit, but I don't encourage fights.
Now you don't encourage fights, but when you were a kid.
No, yeah, that
Okay.
time. Yeah, that time, if you go home and tell I used to say with my grandma. I have never told you guys that. I used to say with my grandma, she's the one who raised me up. Respect to her. So when you go home and tell her that I've been beaten by Meg, what, she'll beat you again because she'll ask you, don't you have 2 hearts?
Yes.
Yes. And then what happened? You have 2 eyes. So she'll beat you again. So she made me to be strong a little bit, and yeah, that's why for me, I don't see anything big in my life. I always see it really easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So, switching, can I share my story?
Yeah,
Okay.
share your story now.
So my story is on a very different spectrum. I think a less intense spectrum.
Yeah.
So for me, I think the thing that really shaped my childhood adventures was the fact that my family lived on a lake. Okay, we lived next to a lake. I mean, I think we had a boat as a house. We lived next to a lake growing up, and that was like the center of play. You know, because where I'm from, it gets cold and the lake would freeze. So in the winter, you would skate on it, you would sled around on it, even you just walk on it. It was like no longer would you have to walk around the lake, you could walk across the lake. But in the summer, that was like the highlight. Having a lake in the backyard was the highlight of my childhood. Because when I was really, really little, my siblings and I, like my mom would, in the summer, she didn't want us in the house. She would, I don't know if she locked the doors, but that's how we always tell the story, is that my mom would be like, okay, come back at lunchtime. So we would be outside to play, but luckily because we had the lake and we all knew how to swim from a young age, that we were always playing there, and we had this like little beach area. My brother and I used to like dig out tunnels, and we'd have these little army men characters. We'd make these really intricate like tunnel system, and sometimes I'd bury him in the sand, or we had this like dark, weird, silty sand stuff. Anyway, my sister told me, oh yeah, that's soap. So you need to put that all over your body. So I put this nasty, like I would never do this now.
You used to do that also.
You used to play with soap.
Yeah, when you go to the river, that is that mud clay.
Okay, so you understand.
Yeah.
And I spread it all over my body, and I'm like, I'm getting clean. But I was too young to understand that like it's extremely dirty. It is not a clean thing. So that happened. But you know, other things that happened on the lake is like my best friend. Okay, she at first she wasn't my best friend, but then she became my best friend. Shout out to Becky. Anyway, but we used to call each other, and because she lived on the lake also, but on like the other side of the lake. Yeah. So we would call each other and we'd be like, okay, I'm leaving the house now. She's like, okay. And we would literally swim to meet in the middle of the lake, and then we'd usually like go to her house and hang out, might go for a walk, but we would swim to each other. So it was a fun childhood on the lake. Yeah.
Wow. So that was funny. I remember.
Yeah.
It was fun for it.
It was fun.
Okay, can I continue with mine also?
Yeah, tell another story of yours.
Guys, I had another story. Have you ever been raised at the village side or the countryside? So this for those guys who knows that side very well. I don't know if all of you know that those sides of countryside. So for us, we used to go for grazing because we used to have kettles and kettles goods. What? So we used to go for grazing. Mm-hmm. So we used to have dogs as pets. There was thing we used to call hunting. So hunting, where I was raised, we had a lot of bushes. Mm-hmm. There were so many bushes. So, or whenever we go to graze, we used to go for hunting. We could leave cattle and goats with one person, and then the rest of us we used to go and hunt. So the funny thing is that when you, let's say you catch a rabbit, or what do you say? When you hunt a rabbit and you catch a rabbit, and you catch a rabbit, you have to be very fast to say what you want.
You call dibs.
Yeah.
Is what we say.
We're dividing that rabbit. So some will say, I'll say in Kikuyu, because we used to speak in Kikuyu those days. So some people will say, galu da kabere kabere, baki, gigo, gigo.
Okay, you have to translate that.
So you have to say, okay, my right, mine is the right back leg, left back leg, stomach is mine, chest is mine, front leg is mine on the left side, front leg on the right side is mine. So you have to be very fast to say what you want. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, I won't mention this guy's name. So we had one of our friends who was stammering. Mm-hmm. So that was a crazy thing. So he cannot say these things very fast because he's stammering.
So he couldn't call dibs on the part of
because so that's how he.
So he never got any rabbit.
No, he used to get, but what he used to do is that we have to tell him before we go to hunt. Okay, we are going to hunt. what do you want specifically?
Yeah.
If we catch first rabbit, what do you want? If we catch second rabbit, what do you want? So that he can say before we go there.
That's good. That's nice.
Although we used to say that if you say that before, it's a bad luck. We won't catch anything. But now we had to, because this guy, he was part of us, and he's our friend, and he needs also a share. So that's how we used to do it. It was fun for you guys.
So after you caught the rabbit,
yeah,
you would take it back to the house, and then people would cook it, or
what you used to do? Yeah, if we are grazing at maybe you went far for hunting and what, so maybe it's lunchtime and you cannot go back home. You have to roast some of the meat there, then you carry some home.
Okay, so you would make a little fire.
Yeah.
Skin the rabbit, cook the rabbit,
yeah,
eat the rabbit.
And eat the rabbit there.
I will tell
the rest you carry it home.
You know, we have this thing in the US called Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
Which is Cub Scouts. It's for like young children to learn outdoor activities.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, we call them scouts, yeah.
Yeah, Scouts here is a little different.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Yeah, for high schools and primary schools.
Yeah, Scouts here isn't quite the same thing as Cub Scouts back home. But they would learn, like, this is how you set up a tent and this is how you start a fire. But I'm going to guarantee you that whatever you knew was way above anything like your age mate in the US would have learned.
Yeah, you have a lot of experience.
Those practical knowledges.
Yeah, practical knowledge I have. I can survive anyway. I can survive anyway.
And that's why I say, if there's a zombie apocalypse, you're going to outlive me.
Survive for
100%.
Yeah, I can survive anyway.
He's gonna hunt and kill skin a rabbit, cook a rabbit. I'd be like, oh hey, pretty rabbit, wanna be my friend? Like,
yeah,
I would not.
I have stayed at the desert, so I know how to survive also in the desert.
Yeah.
So I know how to survive in towns because I have stayed in town.
Right.
At the countryside, I know how to survive. So I think I can survive anywhere.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I tell a story now?
Tell us a story.
Okay. So again, mine seems a lot less exciting compared to that, but so growing up in the backyard, again, this was like summertime.
Yeah.
My dad used to pitch up our tent, and we had this like really cool tent that was quite big. Like it could fit, I don't know, 4 or 5 people, but kids, it could fit a lot of kids. So anyway, he would set this up, and I would have friends over, and we would just like play board games inside the tent, like Life or Chutes and Ladders, games like that. We would just play in the tent all day, and then at night sometimes we'd have a campfire, cook hot dogs over the fire, or s'mores and marshmallows. Oh, it was so nice. And when I got older, like in college and stuff, I'd have friends over, and that's what we would do. Is like we'd hang out in the backyard, we would cook fires. We'd have fires and cook things, and then I started to learn the guitar, and we would play around the campfire with the guitar. Oh, my bad. Sing songs around the fire and eat. It's just like good memories. I love spending time back there. And we have this like swing that faces the lake. Then we would put the camp, like little camp, I don't know what to call it, stove thing that the fire goes into. Anyway, we put that right in front of the swing, and you just rock back and forth. Oh, it is so relaxing with the bullfrogs making their like sound.
Frogs.
The bullfrog. No, I'm not from frogs. Frogs are these little things.
Yeah.
Bullfrogs are like bigger than your face. I'm not joking. They can get huge, and they make these.
Yeah.
It's really deep.
When I go to the village, I do hear them making those noises. I don't know if they are big frogs or small frogs,
Okay.
but always at night.
Those are the little ones. I'm talking about big, and their voices is deeper than I can get.
What?
They're so big. They're really cute. They're like cute, ugly cute. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, a lot of my memories are out playing in the tent. I remember also when I was very, very young, and we had like these big cardboard boxes left over from buying something. My dad would help me set it up as a house.
Yeah.
So he would like cut out windows and a door out of the cardboard box, and then I would draw with chalk. I would draw like a bed, I would draw some flowers in there, and I would play inside a cardboard box.
Wow.
Yes, by myself. A lot of my memories as a child. I remember I was playing house by myself with my dolls and stuff. So
Wow.
very different childhood stories here.
Okay, my last childhood days. So I have so many, but guys, because of the time we have
Yeah.
to have the three at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Just three and three. So
Yeah, go ahead.
the last story is I used to when you my God when you
Go ahead.
when we were in primary school,
Uh-huh.
yeah, for us we didn't have TVs when you were young. When you were growing up, we didn't have TVs. So there are those guys from town.
Mm-hmm.
They used to come with the let's say a screen and some DVDs to show us movies.
Mm-hmm.
So they used to charge us 5 shillings per movie.
About 5 cents back home.
Yeah,
Mhm.
per movie. So because we could not afford that 5 shillings when I was young, we used to sell what is it? Sufurias. I don't know how to.
Pots.
Yeah. We
Like
used
cooking
to,
pots.
Yeah, we used to sell cooking pots so that we can raise that money.
Mm-hmm.
So cooking pots, we were not selling those that are okay. There are those which have some holes. The old
Wow.
ones. The old ones.
Uh-huh.
So we used to sell the old ones. Then they used to buy them 2 shillings each. Then we also used to sell padlocks, and they also to collect some bones because there are some who wanted bones.
Bones of what?
Bones of any bone, as long as it's a bone.
Like animal bones.
Animal bone, human bones,
Wait.
any bone, as long as it's a bone.
Hold the phone. How did you find human bones?
I said any bone, but yeah, I didn't say about human bone.
I'm gonna say that is really creepy. So you're talking about like if a cow died somewhere
Yeah.
and you found the bones.
Yeah, or a goat or any kind, even animals, any
So
kind of.
what would people do with these bones after they bought them?
They used to correct them. They used to sell them here in Nairobi, but I don't know. They used to make cups. These cups. We have those cups.
We don't have cups like that.
Those they are bone cups.
These that we use are ceramic. I
That's
see
how
what you're
we are
saying.
good.
They'd make it out of bones.
That's how they used to tell us. They used to make
Interesting.
plates and cups.
Wow.
Yeah. So we used to sell those bones to them to raise that money for
Mhm.
our movies, just for a movie which will last for 1 hour. But we didn't have any other way of making money when I was young, so that was the only best way to make money.
So you scavenged.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Also, the shoes. There is this thing. What do you call them? The sole
Hmm.
of the shoe.
Yeah.
We used also to sell them.
So you would
But
find them.
Yeah, but not all of them. There are some which, if you bend it like this, it will go back like this.
Mhm.
So when you bend it, go like this. But if you bend it and stay like that, they will not buy. But
Okay.
if it goes back, that's just okay. So that's how we used to survive in primary school when I was young.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that I can watch movies.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, so when I was young, in primary school, I didn't have a job. Okay, later, I think we're gonna make a video where we talk about when we were in high school and secondary school and like the things we did then. But when I was young, in order to make money, in my family, we would have chores. And there was, I don't know how long this lasted, but my parents came up with this like huge spreadsheet that each chore had a price.
Wow.
And so what you would do is like it would be broken up for the week. And so if you did the chore, you would put your initials there, you'd sign it basically, and then at the end of the week you get paid for all the things that you did. So as a kid, I wanted to do all the really easy, the small little easy things. So I would, I don't know, like sweep. I would mainly sweep. I like sweeping a lot. I would sweep if you swept the kitchen, if you swept the bathrooms. So then that would be like 5 shillings, or cents, 10 cents here. And then at the end, you would make the money. And I felt so cool because, back home, I feel like some kids get allowances, where each week the parents just give the child money. And I never understood that because I was taught like you have to work for it. Just like you scavenged, I did extra chores in the house for it, and yeah, I never understood how you can just like get money just for being a kid. It didn't even make any sense.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my story of making money as a
Okay.
small child.
I have a bonus story.
Oh my goodness, do we have time?
Just one.
Okay.
I'll make it short.
Go very fast.
So when you were in primary school also,
Mhm.
Yeah, there are those who are called the notorious girls. They were best friends, but they were notorious. But we used to cover for them.
They were notorious. Why?
Yeah, they used to run away from class
Mm.
in the afternoon.
Mm.
They go to their farms or someone's farms outside the school.
Mm.
They will come with some what do you call them? Guavas.
Guava.
Yeah, they will come with guavas.
Uh-huh.
They come with sugar canes. Sometimes they will come with the cactus fruits. Yeah, so they used to run away. They take from someone's farm
Without asking.
without asking.
Ooh.
Then we know that the teacher will not come during that time,
Mm-hmm.
and then they will come back to the school. So we used to share those within the whole class, and I think the whole class we were 25 in number.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to share, so we could eat anything. But
Yeah.
those days,
Your education seems very interesting.
it was very interesting.
Very interesting.
Anyway, guys. Anyway, guys, if you want us to continue with these stories, just tell us on the comment there. And also, guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.
Yeah.
We will appreciate that if you do that.
Yeah, and I think this was interesting because, like, culturally, very big difference in our childhoods.
Yeah. So
For
so
sure,
many,
yeah.
so many different things and so many stories. So please help us to reach 1,000 subscribers, and we know with you guys we'll make it. So for more stories, let us know what you like and which story made you enjoy
Yeah.
the most. Yes. Okay, guys. Bye.
Bye.
See you later.